Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm really glad you found your way in, and if you've been around for a while, welcome back. Today we're diving into the story of someone whose name has been popping up more and more lately, especially among music fans who appreciate depth, history, and authenticity. We're talking about Bob Weir, a musician whose influence stretches far beyond any single band or era. Now, you might already know Bob Weir as a founding member of the Grateful Dead, but his story is so much bigger than just that label. Bob Weir represents a way of making music that's about exploration, connection, and community rather than chasing trends or quick fame. And that alone makes his journey worth talking about. So let's slow down, take a closer look, and really think about why his legacy still matters today. Bob Weir joined the Grateful Dead in the mid-1960s, at a time when music was changing fast and boundaries were being pushed everywhere. While a lot of bands were focused on hit singles and polished studio records, the Grateful Dead, with Bob right at the center, leaned into live performance and improvisation. Their concerts weren't just shows, they were experiences. No two performances were the same, and fans came not just to hear songs, but to be part of a shared moment. Think about that for a second. In a world where playlists and algorithms decide what we hear next, how often do we really experience music as something unpredictable and alive? Bob's role in the band was especially unique. As the rhythm guitarist, he wasn't just keeping time in the background. His playing was unconventional, sometimes surprising, and often essential to the band's signature sound. Instead of sticking to standard patterns, he filled the spaces between notes, giving the music room to breathe and evolve. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often do the most important contributions come from people who aren't always in the spotlight? One of the most fascinating things about Bob Weir is how long his journey has lasted. The Grateful Dead played together for decades, building one of the most dedicated fan communities in music history. Deadheads didn't just listen to the band. They followed them, recorded shows, traded tapes, and built friendships around the music. Long before social media or streaming platforms existed, this community was sharing content, preserving moments, and keeping the music alive. So here's a question for you. Do you think modern fan culture is really new, or are we just seeing older ideas expressed through new technology? After the Grateful Dead era slowed down, many artists might have stepped away, living off their legacy. But Bob Weir didn't do that. He kept creating, kept performing, and kept collaborating. From Rat Dog to Dead and Company and beyond, Bob continued to explore new sounds while honoring the spirit of the music that made him who he is. That balance between honoring the past and staying curious about the future is rare. It raises another thoughtful question. How do we grow without losing the core of who we are? What's also remarkable is Bob Weir's attitude toward aging in the music industry. He's never tried to pretend he's still the same person he was in his 20s. Instead, he brings his full life experience to the stage. His performances today carry a different kind of energy, not about proving anything, but about sharing something meaningful. In a culture that often celebrates youth above all else, what can we learn from artists who show us the beauty of longevity and evolution? Beyond the music itself, Bob Weir has always stood for something larger. He's been involved in charitable efforts, environmental causes, and projects that support arts and education. This reflects a deeper philosophy that music isn't just entertainment, but a way to connect people and inspire change. It makes you pause and think. Should art simply distract us from the world, or should it help us understand and improve it? Another reason Bob Weir remains relevant today is how timeless the Grateful Dead's music feels. You can listen to recordings from decades ago, and they don't feel locked into a specific moment. There's an openness to the sound, a sense of freedom, that still resonates. Maybe that's because the music wasn't designed to chase trends. It was designed to express something real. And that leads to an important question. Does authenticity outlast popularity? Even now, Bob Weir continues to tour and perform, connecting with audiences young and old. You'll see fans who've been following his music for 50 years standing next to people discovering it for the first time. That kind of cross-generational appeal doesn't happen by accident. It comes from honesty, consistency, and a deep respect for the audience. How many artists today can truly say they've built that kind of lasting bond? As Bob Weir's name trends and more people search for his story, it's clear that curiosity about meaningful, lasting art hasn't disappeared. In fact, it might be growing. People seem to be looking for substance, for stories that go deeper than headlines and viral moments. And Bob Weir's life and career offer exactly that. A reminder that success doesn't always mean being the loudest or most visible, but being true to your craft over time. Before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. What do you think makes an artist truly legendary? Is it sales and awards? Or is it influence, community, and staying power? And if you've ever listened to the Grateful Dead or Bob Weir's later projects, how did that music make you feel? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really enjoy reading them and learning from your perspectives. If you enjoyed this video and found it thoughtful or inspiring, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps the channel reach more people who love deep dives like this. Share it with a friend who appreciates music history or artists with lasting impact. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future videos where we explore the stories behind the names shaping our culture. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.